Let's talk about LinkedIn, which is a kind of our go-to platform as coaches. Posting on LinkedIn or sharing a perspective, which is then open for comment, scrutiny, opinion, sometimes feels vulnerable because you're kind of exposing an inner part of yourself to the outer world. And many coaches, I think, find that vulnerable. So, how do you both view the link between vulnerability and credibility in a coach's journey?
We cover vulnerability, all the work that Brené Brown has done as part of a curriculum. So it's integral to the journey as a coach. And I think it shows up more in the space of the business side of coaching, the branding, and the positioning. While we know at a thought level that it's not a weakness, right? To convert that into action is our hesitation. So whether it is vulnerability on a standalone or authenticity, and I also add a third element to it as a resilience, right? So which form my golden triangle: vulnerability, authenticity, and resilience. A combination of these three will help a coach to make that big leap. The second thing, you spoke about the LinkedIn post, assuming that, PK always uses this line, be where your client is, assuming that your client is on LinkedIn. And, your LinkedIn post is not, a self-expression alone. For me, what I've increasingly started seeing it as, it's an act of presence. You're just being present there. If somebody looks at it as imperfect or whatever it is, it's up to them. So as long as my presence on even on social media or on physical events, networking events, which is very important, just look at it as an act of presence, which is a core coaching competency. Then it is magical, right? Then you're not affected by even failures.
Of vulnerability comes from the fact that we are doing it for the first time, or this identity is very different from the ones that we have held so far, because we have been a corporate, we have been a corporate executive or a trainer or a facilitator. We have been wearing some other caps before wearing this cap. Or if this vulnerability is due to these reasons, feeling vulnerable is a bit natural. And as Subhash said, acceptance as a first stage may give us some solutions. But being thorough with what we do, would help us overcome this feeling. It won't be too long, quickly you can overcome these feelings by being thorough with what you are doing, being sure with what you are talking, and being sure about the people that you are talking about, and being sure about the areas that you are talking about. In LinkedIn, I don't talk about anything for the last 13, 14 years other than what is interesting for a CEO or a CXO. So it is very, very small area that I need to talk about. When I am investing like a laser focused into those narrow areas, always I find something which others don't know. And every week I have something that others don't know because I am invested in it. Right? That is the power of positioning, and that is the power of niche. Being deliberate with what we do is the way out. And also at the, since we are all coaches, one need not glorify, glamorize vulnerabilities. Yeah. It's not something that we need to glamorize. It doesn't enhance credibility over a period. Okay, you felt vulnerable in one moment, but it is our responsibility to not feel vulnerable in a similar moment after that. That is the internal work, that is the external work, whatever work it takes to feel so. So let us not glorify vulnerability and think that it is authenticity. No, it is not. Authenticity is learning from our vulnerability and becoming not vulnerable in a similar situation again. Yeah. So one need to get comfortable with it as soon as possible.